Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are having a very good weekend. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much for your support. Now, today is Sunday, and you guys know that I always like to go a little bit deeper in terms of a bit more macro stuff on Sundays. And I would like to tell you, or I'd like to discuss a little bit what's happening in the broader markets. So, at the moment, we started the year very strong, and we were basically, when I say the market, I'm talking mostly about the US stock market, which typically serves like a pendulum for almost the rest of the world. But in any case, we started the year very strongly. And then it seemed like almost every day or every week we were going up. And there was this feeling of everything is fine and perfect and all is good going around, and the rate cuts were going to happen, and blah, 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 and all of these things, right? And you could tell that there was some complacency being installed. And basically, we had a sell-off, uh, a sell-off in the stock market, quite interesting, more than 6% on the Nasdaq already. But nothing spectacular. Corrections are part of the game as long as we respect certain numbers. You guys recall what I've told you. 4,750 is a very important number in the S&P. I wouldn't be surprised if we go there and touch it. And then we probably should find some strong support over there. Now, the key is, once again, what happened to TLT, the bonds. The bonds completely went downhill, and quite aggressively and quite a lot in the short term. What have I told you 10 times, 100 times before? If the bond market is volatile to the downside quite aggressively in short periods of time, stocks may rally for a couple of days, but then they will follow because the stock market is a derivative of the bond market. That's it. Now, for a period of time, other markets like gold, like crypto, can still go up because they are a little bit decorrelated in the sense of being an alternative, or can be viewed as alternative to the normal financial system for a while. If things really turn sour, then all markets go down. And this is proven by, for example, 2008. In the beginning of 2008, what happened? Gold went up for a while, and then it crashed about 50%. So that's my point. So by the end of it, I think the S&P crashed 55%, but gold crashed 50%. So it was not a safe haven. But that's my point. Is it because gold failed its objective, or because... No. It's the way that the liquidity in the system is connected in the financial terms, not as the real commodity, like in the real world, the piece of gold that you can hold in your hand, but the way that the markets are driven financially and in terms of liquidity. You start to pull out liquidity from the system, and some things will hold their own a bit better for the short term. But if things get, sour enough, everything comes down after it. Now, one thing that is very encouraging is it seems to be getting traction, this feeling that 3 doesn't really fit the objectives or the agenda of anybody. So there is a feeling that this is going to be put to a stop, and that's going to be the end of it. We'll see. What I do see, and I can tell you this also in higher ranks of the financial world, is that Donald Trump has been viewed, urgently as a solution to all these issues on the planet. Now, I'm not taking sides here. As I've told you, if it's one of them or the other, you need to make your own life at the end of the day. If you gain financial freedom, you gain, for the first time in your life, you'll be a free person. We do not live in freedom at the moment, and we are not free. We are debt slaves. We are not slaves in the sense of, what you would expect from historical perspective. We are slaves to a debt system. Once you get free of it, you don't care about other things. You don't care about who's running a country. You don't care if there's a man, he's a man or a woman, what the color of the skin, whatever the case may be. It becomes irrelevant. those are just tools to divide people, and they do it very efficiently. Look at the US. It's split across every group you can imagine. Everyone has conflicts with each other. That's the point. That's the goal for them. Once you became free, you're gonna notice that you're gonna be surrounded by people who don't give two craps about it. In any case, I digress. So I do think that the system will stabilize. I do think we may still go down a little bit further, but that should actually be the end of it. Once again, look at the bond market. If stocks are going down, but bonds are stabilizing, then there's a good chance that we're going to hit some support levels and turn up. If, on the other hand, we have bonds keep on, dropping 1% a day or something, then expect further sell-off in stocks. Now, should you trade this? Am I giving you a lesson? No, I don't think I should trade. I'm saying if I'm building a portfolio, instead of buying the S&P at 5,500, I'm exaggerating, at 5,200, if I have a good feeling, or if I have good technicals to tell me that I will probably see a 4,750 in the S&P, I prefer to accumulate at those levels than at 5,200, for example. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm not at the end of the day, each person can do what they want. But I'm not an advocate of day trading, all of this kind of stuff, or short-term trading or anything. But if you want to do it, have fun, good luck. Now, when it comes to crypto, there's a chart there are two charts that every person should see. Number one, there's a little table that shows you the Bitcoin, the money inflows and outflows of all the ETFs of Bitcoin. And you can see that Grayscale are still selling close to $100 million a day, and their holdings have pretty much, collapsed 60%. So they've sold more than 60% of their holdings, which means their selling is coming to an end, and they are the biggest seller at the moment in the market. So that is something that will be removed very shortly, and the ETFs keep on buying. Now, I still think that we're gonna have the halving sell-off. I do still think that between April and May, we're gonna go probably close to 50K. However, there's a possibility that I'm wrong. Completely possible. That's why I've positioned myself already before this, so in case I get one of these wrongs, it's not a big deal. Also, in my view, I'm more linked to altcoins, so I don't care so much about what Bitcoin does. And Ethereum still did not have its true run. Its really big run, it still didn't happen. Don't forget, Ethereum is a cycle 3 coin now. Maybe it's facing some of the cycle 3 curse. But I do think it will do well. And altcoins, at the end of the day, they're all leveraged on Ethereum. Of course, you have some exceptions with some new coins. And with this, I wanted to flag something. You guys remember that I got in Wolf, Andy, and Brett as part of the, if Pepe keeps on going up, the friends, the boys club, are like leverage on Pepe. So I've done very well with Andy, which is approaching its all-time high. It's almost at $150 million market cap. However, and as expected, this has created a lot of interest, not only by people, but especially by scammers. So there's been projects coming out left and right with Andy, Brett, or Wolf on the name, and they are nothing more than just rug pulls. Look, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I play a little bit, lottery tickets, different wallets for some of these projects. And then there are certain rules that I try to follow. I like to see liquidity locked on DEX screener. I like to see the security issues at least at 90 and above, 90 out of 100. And then I'll put a little bit if I see market caps of $3 million and below. That's it. But if I lose, and I got rug pulled myself once, by the way, just so for you to know, you guys know that I never lie. I always tell the truth. and I lost about like $500, but that's it. It's $500. It's not the end of the world. It was with a different wallet. I've never even used that wallet again because I'm not sure if there's some bad code into it that can drain whatever money I put there. So I pretend it never existed and I move on. The point being, pick a moon. So I've had lottery tickets that did terribly. I've had lottery tickets that did okay, they did fine. And I've had lottery tickets, particularly Andy, Brett, and Andy on Ethereum, Brett on Ethereum, that did very, very well. And I've had Pikamoon, which also has done very, very well. But just one of the ones that did very, very well already paid all the lottery tickets. And I've already cashed out all my principal on the lottery. So literally, all the money that I have on lottery tickets now is free money, in the sense that I've already took out the principal, already took out profit, and now I'm sitting and relaxing and enjoying the ride. But all of this to say, be very careful, because this space, and particularly when Ethereum pumps, because I do believe Ethereum will pump and start outperforming Bitcoin, you need to understand, and particularly if you have an Ethereum ETF coming, you need to understand that the level of attention on Ethereum chain will increase. A lot of things, good and bad, will pump like crazy, and that will drive the attention of scammers. And rug pulls, bad code to drain your wallet, all of this kind of stuff will happen. So please, and this is not financial advice, but this has nothing to do with investments, is if you guys decide to gamble on those things, think about security first. Don't go chase $7,000 and lose $100,000 for a stupid security mistake. And I've seen this happen so often. On Twitter, you see some of this stuff, and it's so sad. Please don't do it. Okay? Be careful with that. Always think, as your portfolio grows, your carefulness for attention should grow. If you have $10,000 is one thing. If you have $1 million, probably you would split your money among banks and all of this kind of stuff, right? So treat your crypto with the same level of security in your mind, because I really would hate. I mean, I can you imagine if you actually pick the coins and you're actually gonna make it, and then you lose it all for a security breach. Be very careful with that, guys. And with that, I'll leave you be. Thank you very much. Enjoy the beginning of the week, and I'll catch you in the next one.